Good morning, everyone, once again. I'm so glad to have you back. I am so happy to know that you're still there for me. But you know what? I'm really missing you all. I miss all the jokes, the hugs, and the lame. But then we are also going to be having fun. But let me remind you something. Do you know that we're not supposed to be giving someone a hug now because we need to stay safe and healthy? So on that note, I'm just going to be blowing my kiss from afar. All right, sit back, let's have fun. Today we are going to be talking on the topic means of transportation, and that's going to be in social studies. Now rule comes again. No snacking, no talking, no playing. Pay attention with your writing materials by your side. Let's keep rolling. What's transportation? That's the very first question I want to pose. I can imagine people raising their hands, people jumping and trying to tell me their answer to that. But let's go. All right, so I'll tell you that transportation is the means of moving people and goods from one place to another. And when we talk about the means of transportation, we are simply talking about those things that can help us move from one place to another. So you see now, remember when we did our lesson on migration? What happened? We moved from one place to another. How did we do that? We actually got a means of transportation, which we will also look at it later on. Okay, so now let's keep talking. I'm going to be talking about the old means of transportation and the modern means of transportation. And I'm going to be taking the old means of transportation first. In the olden days, have you seen all these cars that we have? There were no cars, no airplanes, no ship. Oh my word, there was nothing like technology. Those old men, they were just like that. But transportation usually took place then, even far back as that time. How did they go about that? Now, they had to make use of their feet. That was one way they could go to places. They had to trek very far distances. This is even me like this. If you tell me to trek, I'll be feeling very reluctant. But then, that's what they used to do. But apart from the feet, there were some other things they used to make use of. And those were basically the animals, like donkey, horse, and camel. All right, we are going to go on a trip now. And what are you going to be doing? Okay, close your eyes. Just close your eyes. And we are going to be going to one African country. And I like Ethiopia. So we are going there now. But you know what? We are not going on plane. We are going to be going on a donkey. So close your eyes. Our trip begins. The donkey starts moving. Okay? I can imagine how boring. Can you open your eyes now? Can you imagine moving from Nigeria to Ethiopia on camel? In fact, the experience I had when I closed my eyes and I was just imagining that, the sun comes hitting hard on me, the rain comes pouring on me, and I'm not even finding it funny. No comfortable way of, having my sleep if I want to have my sleep. So that's not making fun at all. I'm not having my fun. Okay, so that's where the old means of transportation. That's how people used to move. Now let's go over to the new means of transportation, or sometimes we call it modern means of transportation. Now, when we talk about the modern means of transportation, technology has helped us a whole lot. I mean, it makes our work easier, it makes our work faster, and it makes it more comfortable for us. So, this modern means of transportation, we have modern means of transportation by land, by air, and by water. And there are some things that helps us to move on these places. Now I'm going to be taking transportation by land first. Our cars move on land. Our buses move on land. Our bicycle moves on land. Our motorcycle moves on land. And even our train, the rail is on the land. Is it on water? No. Is it on air? No. So it's still on land. So our train is still a part of transportation on land. It's as simple as that. Also, when we enter Mommy or Daddy's car and we are feeling so comfortable, that's just a means of transportation on land. And the next one we are going to be talking about is means of transportation on water. Now, means of transportation on water, we have different modes. We have different things that can help us move on water. We have our canoe, we have the ship, and we have the boat. Oh my world, I just feel like going on a ship now. I just want to see how it looks like, what it feels like being on a ship. You know what? I had an experience once when I went on a canoe. Oh, I was almost falling into the water and I was like, wow, oh, I can't stand on this. But I know that's not going to be the same feeling I'm going to be having if I am on a ship. So I can't wait to be on a ship. And I'm just looking for my captain. So who's going to be my captain for the ship? Okay, don't worry, we'll get there soon. Okay, so the means of transportation by water are canoe, ship, and boats. Those are just the means of transportation on water. And then we go over to the means of transportation by air. Everybody's just excited because I just said air. So, you know, that one makes it very comfortable for us. And when we talk about the means of transportation by air, we have the aeroplanes and the helicopters. And I can imagine somebody asking, Mrs. Emma, what's the difference between a helicopter and aeroplane? It's just very simple. Helicopters are made to travel shorter distances than their aeroplane. Aeroplanes can go as far as they want to go, but helicopters can't go some places that the aeroplane go. But they are still transportation on air. Those are the modern means of transportation. And so I know that most of you have traveled by air. What's that experience you had? Oh my word, I like it when I get into an airplane and then the air hostesses come and they tell me, what do you care for? Oh my word, I can't wait to have that again. So I know that you guys have experiences. But apart from that, there's this part of it that when you go, when the plane is just going up, you feel like throwing up. I don't know how many of you have had that experience. I know that I have had it once and it was never very funny for me at all. That can be a distraction, you know. But then, you know what? Aeroplanes are the safest and the fastest means of transportation by air. Good. Are we done on that? Okay. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about are the differences between old transportation and modern transportation. Now, from all of these things that we have talked about, remember when we had a trip on a donkey from Nigeria to Ethiopia? How did you feel? Very uncomfortable. And you can imagine how slow the donkey would move. How many days would we take to get to Ethiopia if we are going there? Oh my word, we may have to spend like months, if not years, to get there. So for me, one of the differences is that older means of transportation are very slow compared to the modern means of transportation, and they are not comfortable. Old means of transportation are not comfortable, whereas the modern means of transportation are very comfortable. You can imagine you sitting in your mommy or your daddy's car and then you're putting on the AC and you're having fun inside the car. Can you try that on a donkey? Not at all. So those are the differences between modern and older means of transportation. But apart from that also, the modern means of transportation were far cheaper than the modern means of transportation. What did I say? The older means of transportation were far cheaper than the modern means of transportation. But can we go with them just because they are, cheaper? Not at all. We've grown past that age. So now we are going to be talking about the problems of modern transportation, irrespective of the fact that we have all of these good things coming with, the modern transportation. We also have some bad part of it. And can someone guess one bad part of the modern means of transportation? I'm waiting. 1, 2, 3. Your time is up now, so I'm going to give you the answer to that. Okay. One of the problems of the modern means of transportation is just loss of lives and properties. You see what happens when our parents are on the steering, and probably they're rushing to somewhere. Sometimes they'll hit on the button 120 with mommy or daddy inside the car, you need to tell them to drive carefully and slowly, because you know what that can cause? Accident. Boom! Everything is being destroyed. And that's not funny. We don't like that. We don't need that. Is that okay? Good. That's one of the problems. It causes loss of lives and property. Another bad part of it, something I'll call the bad part of it also, is that it makes our environment not safe and healthy for us. Now, what am I talking about? It pollutes the environment. Remember when we talked about pollution? Air pollution. From what did we have that? From the fumes, from the car, exhaust car. Remember we even talked about the type of carbon that comes out from the car exhaust. We call it carbon monoxide. I hope you've not forgotten about that. So all of this causes what? Pollution in their environment. But I'm very happy because I know that scientists are working on biofuels car. Those kind of cars are not going to cause pollution. I'm going to let you take that back as your home task. You're going to find out what biofuels means. I'm not going to tell you about that. All right, so that's one of the problems also. How many have I mentioned? 2. Then the third one. Modern means of transportation are very expensive to maintain. What do I mean there? If mommy car gets spoiled, or if daddy's car is not working properly, ask daddy when he comes back, how much did you spend for your car to fix up your car? So much money. So to keep a car or to maintain a modern means of transportation is very hard to keep. So that's why I say it has a high cost of maintenance. Now from this picture, we are going to be looking at this. If you look at this picture, you're going to see that we have all of our modern and all of our older means of transportation. How many of them can you identify from here? And how many of you of this means of transportation have you made use of? I can imagine some people, have made use of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or more means of transportation. But I guess, and I can bet you that one of you has used the older means of transportation. So next time when you're going for a trip or when you're going for a vacation somewhere, probably tell mommy and daddy to make you, allow you make use of an old means of transportation. And I know that we still have donkeys or we still have some horses around here. So let them just let you, make you have a feeling or let you have the experience of how it feels like to use this older means of transportation. And I sure bet you I'll come back to have your responses. Sit tight and we'll meet some other time. Thank you.